It's been a little longer than I said I would take to do this video. We are finally finishing Bleach. Hey guys, welcome or welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Sophie. I talk about manga, books, anime, and games. That's been so hard to remember. I'm finally finishing Bleach. I have been saying I'm gonna do this, and the second I got a break from Bleach and I was able to start reading other things, I went crazy. I finally read books that I've had on next to my nightstand for months now. I realized I enjoyed it so much. I got some manga from the library, a new series that I've been wanting to try. I loved it. Now I got all the other volumes waiting for me at the library. I'm getting into comics. Hello? What? We've missed a lot. I definitely need to do like a check-in video because I've actually been reading. I realize whenever I have the camera on this side, I look over here, and when the camera's on this side, I look here. I don't make eye contact in real life, so this is really like we're hanging out. Back to this video. I'm finally gonna try and finish Bleach. Hopefully I finish it all this weekend because I don't want to rush it, but it is going to be June in just a couple weeks. I still have to watch the anime, not the whole anime. I've decided I'm just going to stick to watching the 1,000-Year Blood War for getting caught up for June 25th because I don't want to stress myself out. I don't want to make this a not enjoyable experience. There's a better word. I want to actually enjoy myself with this. I don't have a whole lot. I have maybe 100 chapters left. I can get that done today. I didn't plan out this video at all. We're not doing a timer. It's not gonna be like a 24-hour challenge. I'm literally just gonna sit and finish the series. I'm gonna be finishing it on my iPad like I was doing for the last video. I still have not bought more volumes. So we're gonna be finishing it on the Shonen Jump app. I don't think I'm gonna get started right now because the iPad is dead. I was looking around for it and I realized it was where this was. Literally, this was on top of it, and I just like, I'm gonna read a bit and I'm gonna come back where I don't know how I'm going to like format this video. Before, I have every 3 volumes. I was gonna come in and check in. I think what I'm gonna keep doing is every quarter of the 1,000-Year Blood War, I'm gonna come check in. I think I ended the 24-hour challenge on chapter 597. I have read a few chapters since then, not too many. I'm at the point, I think I should say this for every video. If you do not want spoilers, do not watch this video. I'm reading the 1,000-Year Blood War. I'm at the end of the series. There's going to be spoilers. It's a cow farm. What do you want me to tell you? I need to start writing scripts. I feel crazy. I am at the point where I still don't know how to say his name, but the bad guy, the father of all the Quincy's, is outside the royal palace. That is where I am. I think Ichigo and Renji and all of them are still in the process of being shot up to go stop him. That's where I am. I haven't read anything else. I read a few chapters. I stopped myself because I was like, no, I need this for the video. This is gold. The next time I talk to you, I think it's gonna be chapter 626. That's a good amount. It's not too much. I think I'm almost there, honestly. The next time I talk to you is gonna be 626. This is going to be the end of the royal palace invasion part of the 1,000-Year Blood War. And then after that is going to be chapter 684, and then 686, the end of the series, the end of the epilogue. I also really have not been wanting to do this video or do this because the end is right there. What do you mean? I don't want this to finish. What do you mean that's it? I've been, to kind of like cope with this, I've been looking into like the light novels, and Already, I'm going to, the second I actually finish the series, I'm going to order the first volume to the light novel series, Can't Fear Your Own World, I think it's what it's called. That seems to be the only light novel series that is in English. I don't think I know how to explain the fact that my sanity is hanging on by a string because I can't remember what it's called. It's a light novel duology. It is about, or I don't know what it's about. It's about a couple things, but what you get from it is more about the Kenpachis. Guys, I've decided Kenpachi Zaraki is my favorite character after reading this. Everything goes back to him. He's my favorite. It can't be helped knowing that that duology is not translated to English. All we really have is like summaries to read. I can't think about it too much because my sanity is hanging on by a thread. I am this close to having a breakdown about, what do you mean I can't read it? What do you mean I need to learn Japanese and become fluent in reading Japanese to consume that? Why is that not translated in English? Can we get on that? What do I need to do? How can I help so that we can get that? We need to get that rolling. Someone, Viz, contact me, email in my bio. Let's talk about it. I can't think about it too much. That's why I haven't been reading Bleach. That's why I took a little longer to finish this video. I realized the longer I take, the closer June 25th is, and the less time I have to actually catch up. And I'm not gonna sit in theaters on June 25th if I'm not caught up and I don't know what's going on. So I need to get to it. Okay. All right, so I've made it to chapter 126. Just a disclaimer, if I look like I'm dying, I have horrible cramps right now. My body is trying to understand why I'm not laying down. I'm going to try not to just do a really short update though, because these are a good amount of chapters. Again, I don't really know how to say the father of Quincy's name, so I'm going to call him Yuha. It's really interesting to see the dynamic between Yuha and his, now I forgot what his soldiers are called, or his followers are called, the Stern Ritters. I don't think that's it. His soldiers, or his followers. It's really interesting to see how ferociously they fought for him and how quickly they turned against him, because I feel like during the Arrancar arc, we saw the dedication and loyalty to Aizen. Obviously, a big part of that was mind control or hypnosis, but we did see how willing they were to die for Aizen and how willing they were to give up their power to him. Now we see the soldiers or Yuha's followers, how they're willing to fight and unalive people for him and do all this destruction, but it feels so much more chaotic, to the point that, like, it seemed like they were all so willing to give up their power to Yuha and to be consumed by him, but the second it starts happening, they immediately turn against him. It's just really interesting. I definitely don't have the brain power or intelligence to dive more into that, or into a lot of the stuff in this arc, because it's very complicated. There's a lot of stuff going on at the same time, but there's definitely something there. I am at this point getting so frustrated that there has been no, I think maybe someone scratched him. It feels like Yuha hasn't even gotten a scratch on him with all of these people fighting him. We've seen the downfall of Squad Zero at this point. All of them tried fighting him. Not a scratch. He's perfectly fine. I'm getting so frustrated. It feels like when you're playing, like when you were a kid and you're playing with that kid that, like, every time you're like, oh, I got you, and he's like, actually no, for a split second I transported, over there and came right back, so actually you didn't get me, or actually everything I touch is mine now, or everything what does he say, like, actually your power is mine now, so it didn't hurt me at all. There's no way you can hurt me. That I can see it. Everything I see with my eyes I can control, and it can't hurt me. It's like, dude, this is no fun anymore. You're not fun to play with anymore. The build up to him finally getting, the whole point was for him to kill the, what's his name, the Soul King. He's like the god there, the thing that everyone's like protecting, the Squad Zero is supposed to be protecting. It was so underwhelming because it's just a torso. It looks like a mannequin, no reaction to anything. He just stabs it. Ichigo shows up with like Yoruichi, Chad, Orihime. I don't remember who else was there. They show up and Ichigo tries to stop him, tries to pull out the sword. He ends up slicing the god in half. He doesn't know why, and Yuha's saying it's because he has his blood in him. There has to be more that we get from that, I'm sure, because I'm sure that's like the next part of what I'm about to read. I'm so interested to see more of that, because why did he do that? I don't know if it's just because he was holding Yuha's sword. I don't know. I do understand that because it was so underwhelming means that that's not the climax, which we see. Even after that happens, we see that, I can't remember his name right now, Shinsui, maybe? He goes and gets Aizen from the prison, all the way down in the prison that he's been captive in. He gets him to help them, which we're still seeing that. We're still seeing how he helps him. Grimjow comes back. I was so happy. I'm waiting for when they show us that Okiura's coming back. Take your time. I'll wait. Wow. A couple characters from the Fullbringer arc come back. I'm really excited that all these characters are coming back. They're all fighting with each other, fighting on the same side. We do see what I was, oh my god, my brain is scattered right now. What I was trying to say in the beginning is that a couple of the soldiers or followers of Yuha decide to help the Soul Reapers so that they can kill Yuha for abandoning them. But it's like he's doing what the plan was. You see what I mean by it feels like they switched up so easily? Like, this Yuha is like a ruler that completely will sacrifice anyone that follows him for the greater good. You knew that. I don't know. I'm confused by that. It doesn't make sense to me. But like I said, I think there's a meaning there. I think it maybe is to show something that I can't see right now. I'm really interested to see Aizen come back. He's a very interesting character. I'm so happy to see Grimjow. I love Grimjow. I really am worried about Yachito because no one's been able to find her. She better not be dead. She better be okay. We haven't heard anything else about it, and I'm not happy about that. Now, I think this sub arc or part of the bigger arc is called War Welt. That's probably not how you say it, but Invasion. I don't know what that is. I don't know if I should know what that is already. I'm sure it'll be explained. Ichigo, Orihime, Chad, Yoruichi, the two people from the Fullbringer arc that I can't remember, Grimjow, are all on their way to the royal palace. I'm pretty sure like Renji, Rukia, Urahara, a bunch of other people are preparing a gate to also go to the royal palace, while having the followers of Yuha, or former followers of Yuha, help them. There's a lot happening. We see Uryu finally fight against Ichigo and the Soul Reapers on the side of Yuha and actually like shoot at them. But he always is looking nervous. I don't understand what's going on. I don't think Uryu is bad. I don't want this series to end, but I want to know what happens. I need to know where all these characters are, what's going to happen to them. I need to know what's going on with Uryu. I need to go how the world is saved. Like the world is crumbling at this part. I just want to know what happens. I'm basically the final part of the 1,000-Year Blood War arc, the end of the series. So the next time I update you guys, it'll be chapter 684, and then after that I just have the epilogue to read, which ends at 686. I have tea, and I'm gonna keep reading. Okay, so I finished Bleach, but a few days ago. I'm still kind of speechless. I wrote my notes down. I've been talking to a bunch of people. I watched some videos about it. I needed to get my thoughts in order. Are we going to be surprised if this is still just a video of me rambling? No, I don't think so, but I tried. I do want to get a few disclaimers out of the way first. First, love Bleach. 100% finally getting to finish the entire series. This is my favorite series. This and Yona of the Dawn. My top two, without a doubt. I love it so much. Anything I have to say will not change that. Two, I've only read the manga for the Thousand Year Blood War. I've only read all of the manga. I have not watched all of the anime or all of the anime that's out. I've heard a lot of people talk about how Kubo got to redeem himself and fill in the gaps and give a lot more detail in the animated version of the Thousand Year Blood arc. So I understand that. Three, I don't think I know everything. I don't think I'm smarter than anyone else. I'm just speaking on my thoughts. That's all. So let's continue with some grace. I'm going to be talking about a few things concerning the Thousand Year Blood arc, or at least the end of it. I don't think I'm going to get to everything I want to talk about. I don't think it's going to be as organized as I'm trying to make it. I wrote a bunch of notes. My notes are not as organized as I want it to be. I'm going to try to get to all the points I want to make. Also wrote like no notes while I was reading. I literally just sat and let myself read, and by the end of it I was speechless. I would have had nothing to say if I made this video when I finished it. I had to take a few days to just gather my thoughts, get through the shock of having no more chapters to read for Bleach. I'm not over it. I took some time. I put on my story on Instagram for anyone that finished Bleach to talk to me about it. I talked to some friends about it. I watched a bunch of like video essays about it, which was a lot of fun. Whatever. Let's start talking about it. Some more general things I want to talk about. I felt like there was so much going on. I could barely focus on anything. I think it also made it to where nothing was able to really develop past a certain point because we were constantly moving on to the next thing. And even when we were moving on to the next thing, there's still like 8 other things going on that we're following. It's like there was no main conflict. It felt like we had to give all of our attention to everything that was going on, and everything was the main conflict. It was a lot. Because of that, I felt like nothing really felt satisfying. Not that that's the purpose of the series, not that that's the purpose of a conflict and the resolve of a conflict, but I didn't feel like when we won a battle, it didn't feel like anything, because immediately or even before we won, there was something else going on. We move on, and then we had to deal with that, and then as soon as they won that battle, they were moving on to the next thing. And it felt like we couldn't really savor any moment that was going on, any sort of milestone, which I do understand now thinking about it more. It makes sense to put ourselves into that world, into what was going on. They are being bombarded with everything. There's a war happening. It's being pushed to points where no one can handle it, and it feels like there's just devastation. There's no way out of it. And anytime they think they got a foothold, they slip, and they're shown that they're still completely at a loss. I get that, but still reading it, I felt so confused. I felt so confused to the point where I would forget who was in each conflict. I remember there's a point where Byakuya and Toshiro are fighting someone. I feel like there was so much that any of the names of Yuha's like foot soldiers, don't ask me. I don't remember. Byakuya and Toshiro are fighting someone. I think Kenpachi also ends up fighting him as well. At a certain point, Rukia and Renji pop up and they're like, oh, go help Ichigo. And I'm like, were they there the whole time? What were they doing? And then he asked them something like, is everyone all right? Like, how? Who? Who's all right? I don't remember. Weren't they with you? I was so lost. There was so many points where I'm like, I don't know what just happened. Where is this character? I don't know where they are because there's so many different things going on. And then another character was like Grimjow. He kept popping up. I would go, oh yeah, but where were you? He would pop up and he'd do something. Then we'd move on, and 50 chapters later, he'd pop up again, and I'm like, where were you? What's been going on? Nell too. Nell just popped up at the end. I was like, you've been here the whole time? What have you been doing? I can't even tell you if there's anyone else that that kept popping up, or like we didn't know what happened. I can't tell you because there was so many. There was so much happening. I felt like after a while we even just stopped getting updates about what was going on. What's it called? In the Soul Society, like not in the Royal Plane. I think we got like one update or a couple updates. I can't even tell you who was down there or what was going on. Now, I want to focus a little more on Kisuke Uruhara. I've already spoken to some people about this, but I hope he's okay. I don't think we really got that. We didn't get the confirmation that Uruhara and Yoruichi is okay. I believe it would be Grimjow and Nell as well. Are they all okay? I don't know. I'm really sad about it. But other than that, we finally get to see his Bankai. Super cool. It's been so anticipated. There's a better word, but I can't right now. The series made you anticipate his Bankai so much. He's such a powerful character in physical fighting and his Kido. He's very talented in Kido. We see that throughout the entire series. He's insanely overpowered. Love him as a character. I love him for that. He's so calculating. He's extremely smart. We get a couple mentions of his Bankai and about kind of showing us like how intense it is, how powerful it is. We finally get to see it. I don't think it was a disappointment. I think it was insanely cool. I think it was worth the wait to see. That's not my problem. My problem is it's very confusing. 1. 2, I feel like for how much it was anticipated, we saw it for like 2 seconds. And then that was it. I wanted so much more from that. I feel like I'm confused because we didn't get enough time with it. I don't think these things were not thought of. I think we didn't get enough time to understand what his Bankai does. I know we get some of it, like the reconstruction. He makes the guy, I can't remember his name, think that there's like a radius that the Bankai works in. We see him like try and make him think that, so I'm like, okay. But then he continuously doesn't do anything with, like, that's it. That's all he does. I don't know what I'm trying to explain. I'm just completely at a loss. I have so many questions. I didn't write them down, so I'm not going to go further into that. But I'm very confused about his Bankai. I love him so much. He needs to be okay. That's it. Now, we're going to move on to talk about Yuha. Again, that's what we're calling him. I kind of started slowing down on my notes here because at this point I was talking to a lot of people about the series and we were all just talking about our frustrations. Not too much to like actually write down. So Yuha, such an overpowered character. I felt like every single time they did anything, he was like, well, I can change the future, so actually you can't do that. And it's like, it's just that over and over. It did not matter what Ichigo did. It did not matter what anyone did. It was like, well, I can change the future. So actually, I made it so that your sword never existed. Please stop. You're annoying me. You've been annoying me for over 200 chapters. Stop. And then for the epilogue for, like, is that the case where Ichigo's son just, like, squishes it and that's it? Yuha's not a threat anymore? And that's all it was? Which, one, could be cool if that's like, oh, that's because we're gonna get a spin-off with their kids. Ignore any of my criticisms. I'm down. I'm good with that. Let's do that. I'll keep my mouth shut. Let's do it. If that's not the case, I'm upset. Because why did I spend so much time cheering on these characters to fight this overpowered asshole that no matter what, he was like, actually, you can't touch me. Actually, I control the wind. Actually, sorry, that was probably loud. I was getting so upset. And then finally, I was on the last chapter. He's still not dead. We have found no flaws. He is not a scratch on him. Let me calm down. I feel like for this arc, I can appreciate like I said, the kind of momentum we had where it's like, we are feeling the same anxieties and the same devastations as the characters in the moment. I get it. Everything's happening. They're feeling hopeless. We feel hopeless. They can't keep track of everything going on. We can't keep track of everything going on. I get it. I appreciate it for that. I still love Bleach. I am excited to watch the anime now because I want more out of it. I felt a little disappointed at points where Ishing and Uryu's father showing up and they show up, give him an arrow, and that's it. That's all he does. What does the arrow even do? I don't remember, but didn't it do nothing? Didn't he get there too late and nothing happened? I don't even remember. There's so many things I don't remember because there's so much. What happened with Kenpachi? What's her name? Yachiru? Don't be mad at me. What happened there? Clearly she's not alive anymore. Was she real? She was real because so many times we saw her speaking to the subordinates. So she was definitely real, but what was that where she gave her power to Kenpachi for his Bankai? Which, can we talk about that? One of my notes just says Kenpachi is my favorite, period. He is officially my favorite character of this series. He's my top favorite character. I'm a Kenpachi Zaraki girl. 100%. Love him. His Bankai was so incredibly insane. I haven't watched this video. There's a video of someone over analyzing all the Bankais. I need to continue because I didn't finish it. I need to get to the point where he talks about Kenpachi. I just stopped watching it because I'm like, I think I'm gonna get spoiled about something. That was super cool. I love him so much. That's all I had to say about that. Something else was the Stern Ritters or whatever it was, like his Squad Zero that follows him to the Royal Palace that fight everyone. That everyone's like fighting until the end. They were other characters that like no matter what, they just kept getting more and more powerful. And I feel like for the kind of fights they were having, one, they happened so fast. They could have been longer. They were not long at all. And then the fights just ended. I feel like we didn't really get, like, did they get defeated? How did they get defeated? Like I said, like with Urahara, I guess that guy we see him, but was he? And then the whole situation of like what they're in gets more powerful when he dies. Are they okay? Nell goes in to save them. Sure, we see that, but we don't see them come out. When she went in, did she immediately get affected by it and couldn't save them? And then everyone else, like the guy that Byakuya and Toshiro were fighting, they kept fighting them. We see them, I think the last time we see them is telling Renji and Rukia to go help Ichigo, and they're still fighting him. Kenpachi as well, still fighting him. And the guy just kept getting more and more powerful. So what happened? And then he was so big that they said that if he fell, he would destroy everything. So what happened? Anyways, I love the epilogue. The epilogue made me cry. I kept reading it over and over because I was in such shock. I felt so traumatized by the end of the 1,000-Year Blood War arc that I was like, finally, something positive, something good happened. I love Ichigo marrying, or at least having a kid. We don't really see anything else. We see that Ichigo and Orihime had a kid. They have a son. Love it. Love that. I love that we see Rukia and Renji there together. They have a daughter, and they take time off from the Soul Society to go watch Chad fight whatever he was doing. Love that. Can we please get a spin-off, please? Can you just give me some chapters of them being friends and hanging out and living life and being happy? I love that. I love that so much. I haven't read, I know there's like a one-shot that came out, not Burn the Witch, something about that people are calling the Hell Arc. I haven't read that. I still need to read that. Hopefully I get answers about certain characters. I'm going to order the first volume to Can't Fear Your World or whatever it's called, the first volume to that light novel series. I'm ordering that tomorrow when I get paid. I don't really have anything else to say. Oh, I love that Rukia becomes a captain. I'm a little confused by it because I thought, I can't remember which one. I know one of them, it's always a Kuchiki as the captain. I saw that Byakuya is still a captain. So are they just like, whatever, I guess we'll have two Kuchikis as different captains. That's fine. Whatever. It probably, maybe I'm thinking about that too much. But I love seeing that she is a captain now. Proud of my girl. Love her so much. I'm sad that she wasn't as big of a character the rest of the series. She was such a main part of the beginning of the series. She was one of my favorite characters. I loved her so much. I'm sad that we didn't really get too much of her or Renji or a lot of the characters. I love Toshido's evolution of his Bankai, that he gets like taller and older. I love seeing that. Okay, I'll give you this. I love seeing how all the characters matured. I feel like the Thousand Year Blood War arc, all these characters that we've been following for so long, we really got to see how they matured, how they've grown as people, and how they've grown with each other, like their dynamics with each other. I love that we got to do that. The Thousand Year Blood War arc really gave us a good look of how everyone's grown. Loved it. I did tear up so much when they showed that Ukitake, you know who I'm talking about, that he died. I'm pretty sure it's when he gave up his life to be the right arm for the Soul King, which that was really weird too. He's just a torso. He's the most powerful being. I'm sure there's some explanation. I'm just poking at things at this point, but that did make me laugh that he was just a torso. This whole thing of this anticipation of Yuha trying to kill the Soul King, and it's a torso floating in a ball of jello, whatever. I don't think I have any more thoughts. Like I said, Bleach is still one of my favorite series. I think top 2. I'm going to start the anime for the Thousand Year Blood War arc very soon, hopefully tomorrow, with my partner, because we are going to be going to the theater together to watch it. I saw that the trailer to the part 4 of the Thousand Year Blood War came out. I'm not watching anything because I don't want to be spoiled, because I don't know how different the anime is to the manga. I'm hoping a good amount. I had such a great time like having this as a series I did on my account. I'm definitely going to be doing this with other series. If you have a suggestion to another like longer series or popular series or a series everyone should have read, because I probably haven't read it, comment down below. I know I want to read like Berserk. I want to finish Dorohedoro. I want to do Yu-Gi-Oh! I have some series in mind already. These are some that I have like at least the first couple volumes. Not Berserk. I have 0 volumes. I would be reading all of that through the library. I feel like this really motivated me to finally finish this series. I'd read chunks of the series here and there. I'm someone that, like, if I don't find a way to force myself to finish a series, I won't, or it'll take me years. Monster, for example, it's been like 2 or 3 years of me reading a couple volumes a year. It's just dense and confusing and intense. Anyways, comment down below a series that you think I should do this with. I had so much fun. Even if I get no comments about series, I'm definitely going to be doing this again. This is what I need to finish series, honestly. Only do manga series because my reading is not that fast. This would not work with actual like novels. Maybe in the future. That's gonna be it for now. This is the end of, I was gonna say this is the end of me talking about Bleach. Probably not. This is the end of me reading Bleach. Finally done. I'll probably do a video at the end of finishing the Thousand Year Blood War arc, or at least catching up before what comes out in theaters. Maybe not. I might just chill and enjoy it and keep it to myself. But I will tell you guys, thank you guys so much for not just watching this video, but being here and being part of my journey of finishing this series that I love so much and has just added so much to my life. I feel so like fulfilled after finishing the series. I feel so much better about how I read the series with this account, because I've had such a good time talking to you guys about all these different aspects that we've talked about. If you like this video, please like, comment down a series you think I should read, subscribe if you want to see more of me. My Instagram is in the description below. Go ahead and follow that if you want updates or more of me. That's all I have to say. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day. Bye.